Okay, so let's go over the network policy default settings. So the way you would define a network policy would be having the main mandatory components. First we have the API version as usual, then we have the kind, which is a network policy. We have the metadata, the name and the namespace. Next comes the spec. So for ports, you would have to use the parameter called port selector. Here I am matching a port with the label role equal db. If you are going to match all ports, then you have to select just the open curly braces. You can get the details in the link that I'm going to leave behind in the comment section. Then we have policy types. We have ingress for incoming traffic, egress for exiting or outgoing traffic. Within ingress, you can actually leave the policy types, both of them, on in your YAML file. It doesn't make, there's no issue with that. Then you just have to specify for which direction that you are going to define the network policy. So here for ingress, we start with the parameter from. In this example, I'm actually trying to match the IP block with the CIDR of 172.17.16 subnet. You can also specify the namespace selector to match labels. Here we have project equal to new project. Now, if you're wondering how come it says namespace selector but you don't see anything to do with namespace, but rather we are matching using labels, that's because you cannot reference namespaces using their names. So it would be important that you create a namespace with a label, which you can then use to reference ports coming from that namespace. Again, you can read about the details and the functionality that is not present in the current version of Kubernetes from the link that I'm going to leave behind in the comment section. Then we have within the namespace the port that is going to be affected, matching the labels. Here I'm matching the ports that have the label called role equal to frontend. And then we have ports for traffic to go through. Here we are matching port 6379. And then we come to egress, which is the outgoing traffic. Here I just included this to for the sake of completion to show an egress. Later in my other examples, I will showcase more usage for these parameters. Hello again. I hope everyone is doing well. In today's demonstration, I just want to show you guys how we can create a network policy to manipulate traffic within our Kubernetes cluster. This is the scenario that we will be using for this example. Basically, there are three namespaces with 3 ports in each, and the web port needs to talk to the API port. There must be an access to the web port from all namespaces. The admin port needs to have access to the web and API ports. I'm going to include a simple script that can do this for you within a minute in the comment section. Alternatively, you can opt to write out the commands on your own for your own practice. Right? I'm going to split this video up into two. In this short video, we will just validate the scenario and make sure we have all the resources that we need. In the second part of the video, we will do a couple of exercises to run through some practice network policies. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put all those commands in my script, and I've already run them. And just to show you, so we have our backend, front end, and test, and we have our services as well, right? So let's verify. So if everything is working well, we should be getting a welcome to nginx reply in all cases. So we're going to check the web port and send the curl to the API backend. It should be able to communicate with the backend. Yep. And so you can see the welcome message. Next one. So let's try backend to admin. Yes. And backend to front end. Yep. Next we try admin to API backend. Okay. And then we try admin to web front end. Yes. And finally we will try web front end to API backend. Yes. And the last one, admin, front end to admin. Okay, all done. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video for the network policy practice.